Jerry, we have a guy coming on the show, and one of the reasons we want him coming on the show is he's a fighter, and he's got a story that reminds me a lot of your story. His name is Michael Gavronski. He's 28 years old. He's a super middleweight. He comes from, well, Jerry, a tough family background. He's got a heck of a story, and Michael Gavronski will be joining us next. We think you're going to love to hear this.
Great.
Well, that'll be the day. Time to introduce a heavy hitter in the world of boxing. Let's go to Randy Gordon as we hit the guest line.
Well, when I was talking to Jolton Josh the other day about this fighter, his name is Michael Gavronski, I said, well, his story reminds me a lot of Gentleman Jerry Cooney. Michael Gavronski grew up in Tacoma, Washington. He had an abusive dad. His mom was always making the wrong choices. He couldn't take it anymore. He moved out at 13 years old, moved in with his grandparents, who lived 50 miles away, and with love, they raised him. He started boxing at 18 years old. He's a professional now. He's 32 years old. He has a record of 24, 2-1 with 15 knockouts. Michael Gavronski, welcome to the show. I'm Randy G, and Gentleman Jerry Cooney is here with me, and you are going to be, I think, such good friends with Jerry. You guys have the same story, Michael.
Wow. I didn't know that about Jerry Cooney. That's one hell of a story. One hell of a fighter, too.
Hey, Michael, let me tell you something. This is Jerry Cooney. It's nice to be on with you. And I tell you one thing that you did that was great that happened for you, whether it was your mother or whoever it was, when she moved you to your grandparents, that was a big break in a lot of ways that helped you to be strong. Because I stayed in that house for 17 years and I heard I was no good, a failure, I was not going to amount to anything, don't trust nobody, don't tell. And that's what you hear, and you grow up that way. It's so hard to shake those skeletons off. It takes years of building self-esteem and believing in yourself, and you're doing a great job, and I hope you get a chance to get some outside help as well. There's a lot of programs out there, because there's this voice inside our head that tells us no matter how hard we work that we're still not good enough, and we try to fulfill that self-prophecy of not succeeding. And I hope that is not the case for you, because it's not it's not really a fun time.
Hey, I appreciate you saying that. It was very thoughtful of you. I sure do appreciate it. So thank you for saying that.
So, Michael, what was it like as a kid growing up? Because, I mean, having spent so many years being the co-host here of Gentleman Jerry Cooney and becoming his like big little brother, if you will, I know the story
very
of what
very little brother.
I know the story of what he went through, with the abusive dad. Did you, from day to day, always hope things would change?
Yeah. You always are hopeful. You kind of scrap for what you can scrap for, and obviously you act out in certain ways, and things aren't always the best. I think I'm really grateful for the experience, because at the end of the day we're all human beings, and you know better what not to do versus what to do. And I think I would never want to put that kind of agony on any type of child, and that's probably why I don't have children. So I just you make better choices than where you come from, and just kind of just do a better job yourself. You always have a choice in what you take from things, and you always move in the right direction, right?
And Mike, sometimes it's very hard and embarrassing to talk about. Do you feel any of that?
I keep it really close to my vest, but if somebody wanted to have some dialogue about it, I definitely would open up. I'm not a sorry sack. I'm not a victim to nobody, so I don't do that kind of stuff. There's a lot of people out there who have it worse than I ever had it, and so I got people dying in Africa on a regular basis, right? I mean, there's so many different perspectives you can take from it. But I always like to think that the best day is today, and I got through that, and I'm loving my life. I get to be a professional boxer. I get to fight. I get do cool stuff, and I don't have to take that kind of shit from nobody. Excuse my language.
Yeah,
That's
and
okay.
that's great. But let me ask you a question. Climbing up those 4 steps into the ring, waiting for the bell to ring, aren't those voices back there? I mean, as hard as you work, as difficult as you put yourself in there, there's that, I can't make it. It's going to be hard to make this. It's going to be hard to get over this. And I mean, obviously we get through it, but it is a burden. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it can be if you let it be. You know, like anything in life. You know, I really work really hard at staying away from that. You know, I watch a lot of golf, believe it or not. And
Do you play?
I play a little bit. Yeah. One thing I love about golf is that it's all mental, and that's when I got into it when I started boxing. Believe it or not, and that was really the reason why I got into it, because it was so mentally exhausting, really. You know, playing 9 holes and watching somebody on TV play 18 4 days in a week, and have that grueling exhaustion like a Tiger Woods doing what he did when I was a young kid. You know, it was amazing to watch, and I wondered what it was about. So I kind of picked up on that, is that actually it's all mental. You know, you can make mistakes, but it's all about the mind game ahead of that. So.
Yeah, now I don't know if there's any correlation, but I'm also a golfer. When next time you come to New York, I'm going to have to take some of that Michael money off your back, bro.
You probably will.
We are talking to Michael Gavronski, who grew up in a dysfunctional home, and I guess that's putting it
Trouble. That's all. A little trouble.
mildly. Was there ever a time that after you moved out at 13, moved in with your grandparents, and you found out what basically true love and respect was about from your grandparents, because they were able to give you that? But was there ever a time, maybe before that or even after that, that you did things that you're just not proud of? You maybe took to the bottle or drugs or anything like that?
You know what? I have never gotten into drugs before. That is not something that you see it growing up. You know, you see people do things that are not very healthy, but I just never went down that route. I was very lucky that way, that I just never got into it. I just always exercised, and you know, obviously things were really rough moving in there at first, and because you come from this crazy place, and things are so mellow, and I think that you kind of learn how to get along, but it takes a while to get used to being in a low environment.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of ways. People use studying. They go to school. They stay in school. They exercise. There's a lot of different ways they eat. Maybe they overeat. They don't take care of it. That abusive behavior leaks out some ways, and if you don't deal with it later on as you get older, you become unavailable to sustain emotional relationships with people. I mean, we don't know how to become intimate because people that raised us didn't teach us to be intimate, and so there's all ways to go about educating ourselves in those areas. And obviously you've taken to boxing, which is a great outlet. And the only thing for me, what happened to me, that voice, I was no good, I was never going to make anything of myself, it kind of stayed in there. The voice went away for a while but came back, and it was troubling. And but I've done 30 years of getting myself cleaned up, and I feel like $1 million, and it sounds like you do too. And you have a great career going ahead of you. And what do you want to do with your career?
I'm winning that championship of the world, and then I'm gonna open up. Well, my goal is to find a way to open up some kind of program for kids like us, Jerry. That's really what I want to do with the rest of my life, is find these kids and build them and teach them. There's better ways of learning, and there's better ways of dealing with your emotions, So that's kind of what my ultimate goal is, after boxing. But
You know, it's a great thing. You can check in even now. You know, it's nothing like, going to a home for troubled kids and tell them your story and grow, and you grow, they grow, and you tell them your pain, they grow through your pain. And so that's God working in God with kids, and you help these kids get a better opportunity than they really were supposed to have. But anyway, so your next fight's coming up. How you feeling? How many rounds are you boxing? How many rounds of gym you got boxing?
Well, Jerry, I tell you what, it's August 18th. He's going to be fighting in Atlantic City on a top-ranked card with Brian Jennings on top. And the co-feature is Mike Gavronski against 24-1 Jesse Hart. Have you had a look at Jesse Hart on YouTube?
Oh, yeah. You've seen Jesse. Yeah. I've seen a fight for years now, yeah.
And your thoughts on Jesse Hart, the son of Eugene Cyclone Hart, doesn't have daddy's left hook, but he says he's got the daddy's pedigree. What do you think?
We'll check that out here pretty quick, won't we? yeah, he's good. You want to fight good people, That's why you get in this game. You go to dominate the best. That's where you do it, right? And that's what I'm excited about.
No question about it. We're talking to Michael Gavronski. And Michael, boxing careers don't go on forever. You're 32. You just may win the title when you fight Jesse Hart. But eventually one day, the career is going to be over. Any thoughts about what you're going to do after boxing?
Yeah, plenty of ideas after that. I really just want to work with kids in one degree or another. That's kind of my ultimate goal. Work, find a nice. Well, I already have a really nice job, and just do stuff like that, and hang out with people, and laugh and smile, and go get a farm, and maybe get some cows and some horses, and eat them.
How about a nice wifey, bro?
Yeah, that would be really nice to have a really nice wife, but I'm really, really just so focused on myself that I haven't had time to get that accomplished yet. So hopefully that's in the near future. That'd be really sweet too.
Well, listen, we want to thank you for coming on with us tonight. We wish you all the luck in the world. You got your hands full a little bit there, but you've also got a great story, and that's put a lot of fight in you, and we wish you all the luck that night, okay?
Jerry, thank you so much, and it's a pleasure. I would love to meet you in person. Thank you so much for chatting with me. I sure do appreciate it.
Me too. You got to call in again. We'll figure that out, okay?
Well, I'll tell you what. We got your number here up on the screen, and Jerry is certainly going to get in touch with you. Michael Gavronski, all the best to you. You're fighting August 18th on ESPN from down in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Again, Michael Gavronski, all the best to you, and thank you so much for joining us here.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.